Hello there, my name's Simon Grieve and I've come to Leicestershire, this beautiful corner of Leicestershire, to celebrate 20 years of Horses Inside Out and to chat to my really good friend Gillian Higgins, who is the founder. So I've got a slightly nervous Gillian here, worrying about what I'm going to ask.
Well,
Don't
who
stress,
knows?
just drink tea and
Drink
carry
tea,
on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here we are. We are in Horses Inside Out HQ, all this amazing stuff around. It's a lovely place. I mean, you've built this fabulous thing, but this didn't come from nothing. Right?
No.
Where did the idea first come from?
Well, we're going back a little while there. I would say the actual painting. So if we start with the painting of horses, I never dreamt at the very beginning that it would become what it is today. It was almost a bit of an accident. I started off I was working as a coach, so I'm a BHS senior coach now, but at the time I was working through my coaching. And I'd done the equine massage, human sports and remedial therapy. And I was working as a coach, as a therapist. And I just realised that lots of people could benefit from understanding more about how horses work. I was being asked the same questions over and over again. And I actually remember I was asked to go to an event yard, and the rider had qualified for badminton, so very good rider. And he said, "Would you look at this young horse for me?" I said, "Yeah, no problem." And he says, "I'm worried about it because it's got some lumps in its neck." I was like, "Those are the neck vertebrae." And I was like,
"Oh God."
Because they were so low down, I know. And I thought, oh dear, right. So I wanted to start doing some education just to try and improve people's knowledge about how horses work, really. And it started off just doing really small workshops for my clients down in Gloucestershire. I was a member of the BHS committee, volunteer with that as well. And so it was sort of through that that we helped to promote it, as well as just directly to my clients. And the first time I painted a horse, I just indicated with a little bit of paint, because my mum, primary school teacher, so I had some kiddies paint, so just indicated some different areas. It wasn't not a full skeleton or muscle or anything like that, but and then each one I did tended to lead to another. I was asked by the Event Horse Owners Association to do a lecture demonstration for their award winners, and then someone there said, "Oh, would you come to my centre and do one?" And just one after another. So in the early days, it was all about the painting. And Caroline Moore, of course, she said to me very early on, "Would you come and let's do a lecture demonstration at Bellevue?" And that was a big part of it as well. So that was the very early days, I'd say.
But going back from that, like when I first met you
Yes.
at university.
Yes. Excuse you, George.
Yeah, we have a friend over there. I first met you at university, where we had an absolutely great time. It was Gillian is a very good dancer, just putting it out there.
I love dancing at university. Oh my goodness, that was just fantastic.
Well, I remember being I think it was the May Ball, and lots of people kind of standing around, the music was all going, no one dancing, and you and I just went off and started dancing, just the two of us, because we loved it.
I loved it so much.
And it was great. It was great fun. But I never realised that this is the route that you were going to go down. Did you? What were your plans when you were at university?
At that point, I didn't. I think university as a whole, you're in a completely different mental place, aren't you? I think the lack of responsibility, although at the time, I remember thinking, oh, it's so stressful having to get my coursework in on time, that sort of thing. But now reality.
I didn't have that stress too much. Oh. Up until like about an hour before it was supposed to be, and I was like, oh no, I've got to get it in. That's where we're very different. She's the brains. I don't quite know what I am, actually. I'm definitely not a brawn.
No, you're the fun. You have the determination and the skills.
Yeah, okay, we'll go with that.
What was the question? I've forgotten.
But so at that point in your life, where were you going?
I was going to be a therapist.
Right, okay.
So I went through the phase when I was at school. Of course, I wanted to be a vet. And then I went to Caroline's Yard and changed my mind, decided I wanted to be an event rider. And then... As you do. And riding horses. And then, of course, quite a lot of them get injured and went lame, and had quite a few journeys with horses before I went to university, where I was thinking, we've got to see a chiropractor, got to see a physio, got to see the vet. So I met a lady who did Timony chiropractor, and I really loved what she did. Thomasina Spillman, you probably know her.
Yeah.
And
Very well.
I went to take my horse for her to treat, and I was like, wow, I think I really like her life. Maybe if I did that, I could event as well. I could do both of them together. So that was sort of my plan, I think, was the coaching, because Caroline was really, training, encouraging me with my BHS exam. So the coaching and the therapy.
She was such an inspiration, wasn't she?
She was.
In so many ways.
Yes.
And really encouraging.
She really helped to give a structure. I remember she'd sit me down on a regular basis and like, right, this is the plan, what you need to do to get this exam, and really encouraged me through those the BHS exams. She was incredible. Such a driving force.
Yeah.
Huge. Yeah.
And I always think your people skills are very good, and your communication skills are excellent. Always have been. And so the presenting side of stuff, because you're you're ever so good with presenting stuff with real clarity, and it's very organised. And I did a lecture demonstration recently, and I did a little bit of a practice run, and Gillian came and watched, and there was lots of advice going on there about how to make it better, which was fantastic. But is that something that you've learnt along the way, or is that something that you've always kind of just naturally been really good at?
No, I would say it's something I've had to work at, definitely. It's something that I think I've had a desire that I've wanted to do. I can remember even at school when there was the opportunity to present. I'd want to do it, but then invariably I'd stand up and it would be
and then shy away from it. Yeah.
Yes, I can remember one time at school it was some business project, and we had to stand up in front of the whole school and present our idea. And I literally walked up and went, "This is it," and walked off again. And I couldn't do it. But I've had to work really, really hard at that. Really hard. My mum was instrumental in that. So as a primary school teacher.
Yeah.
I remember she was doing some drama classes and things like, she taught me the way to stand. So if you're presenting to an audience, you should always have your back foot forward so that you're slightly turned, and all little things like this. I used to practice every single one of my early presentations. I would do a complete sort of dummy run, probably with my parents in the conservatory, line of teddies. I would practice, really, really practice. And to be honest, I still do that a little bit, not necessarily with the line of teddies.
But I think you have to, don't you? If you want to maintain being good at something,
yes,
you have to be practicing it.
Yeah,
You've never got it. Although there must have been a moment when you thought, do you know what, actually, I've got this where I want it to be. You're not the sort of person to say, I've got this sussed, but as in, you're feeling pretty confident about what you're doing.
Yeah, I think sometimes when I'm painting horses for a lecture demonstration, there's quite a lot I want it to be perfect. Oh, Poppy, I want it to be perfect. So I'm stressing about that. But then when the lecture demonstration starts, I feel like myself go, I'm in my comfort zone now.
Yeah.
And
you feel really comfortable now in that,
I really
scenario.
Enjoy it. I really enjoy sharing information. And yeah, I feel so much more confident than I did years ago, definitely. But
And you must gain a lot of confidence from, when I've been with you, when you've done these things, you always get really good feedback. People are always really positive and say, oh, thank you so much, that's really interesting. I learned a lot tonight.
Yes.
Have you ever had negatives from people?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
That kind of surprises me, because I always think
it
always seems very positive.
It's funny the word negative, isn't it? Because sometimes you could say constructive criticism, which is hard to take. Poppy, are you supposed to be jumping up?
Go and sit down.
On the floor.
You're going to go and sit down.
She likes to sit on these chairs. So
has that ever knocked your confidence?
Massively, yeah.
Yeah. Because I found that with my riding very much. There's a lot of people that are very nice, but there's
occasionally
there's actually quite a lot of criticism through the years.
Yes.
And it really knocks your confidence.
It really does.
You have to build back up again.
Yeah, I think there's a number of things. I think social media, I struggle with.
Yeah.
Someone can say something really that they probably don't even mean it to be critical or
stuff. You can take stuff. It's like text messages, isn't it?
Yes.
You can take stuff however you want to.
Yes.
A comment could be a positive one, or it could be really negative, depending on the emphasis you put on whatever part of the words.
But I can have sleepless nights over. Stress over things like that. I'm quite a worrier, really.
The other thing that gets me is with that, you could have, say you've put a post on a video that you've done to do with these guys, and it's really amazing, whatever, and you've got 100 comments, say, and you've got 99 that are really fabulous and like, oh, Gillian, well done, this is so amazing. And you've got that one that says, I think that's terrible,
Yes.
and you're an awful person, or whatever, I don't know, something
No,
like that.
it's the same.
That's the one you go for.
It is. It's the feedback forms from events that we do or conferences in the past. I can remember literally going through, oh, that's a good one. And each time there's a good one, you feel yourself
good,
going,
excellent, that's good.
You're like flicking through, oh no, here's the one. And then I'm like, this is ridiculous. But on the other hand, I really try to take any criticism and use it as fuel to improve myself, because I think that's really important.
I'm definitely, I'm the same with social media stuff now.
Yeah.
Like before, I'd be like, oh no, they think I'm terrible, whatever it may be. And now I'm like, actually, and very often it makes me actually self-reflect a lot more.
Yes.
But you've got to be realistic about it, haven't you?
Yeah, I think the challenge is that you can't do everything. And one thing I am plagued by is ideas. I have so many ideas, so much stuff that I want to do.
They're overflowing.
There's not enough time to do it all. And I have realised in life that you can do anything you want to do, but you can't do everything. So it's working out what you want to do. And also, since I've been older as well, I think I'm better at realising that you can't please everybody. Mm. So although taking criticism and building on it is a good thing, but you've got to decide if that's going to fit into your plan and with what you're doing. But it's really hard to let go sometimes.
With what you're doing, it's different. No one's done it before, have they? You must have had someone though that has been a real inspiration, apart from me, obviously.
You, clearly.
You must have had somebody that's been a big inspiration or influence on you, going like through for your whole career. Who would that be, or is it multiple people?
Multiple people. So I'd definitely say Caroline. We've
Yes,
spoken about
of course,
her.
yeah.
Definitely, she was such an inspiration. In the early days, I would say Mary Bromley. She really set me on my path with the therapy side, and probably since, well, very much more recently, Sue Dyson's been playing a big part in, I think, helping to channel and direct me and help me question with the horses. But I pull inspiration from so many different places. Yeah.
And so we want to know a little bit more about you, and or these guys want to know a little bit more about you. And so you've got, this is your home.
Yes.
And married? Not married?
Not married. No.
Not married.
Not married.
Kids?
But no children.
These guys?
Yes. The horses.
These are the kids.
Yes, this is Hugo and Poppy. Very, very important part of my life. And obviously the horses. I think the no children thing, I made a decision because I love horses inside out so much. And I know that, again...
So career over family kind of thing?
Yes.
At the moment?
Yes, just full stop, actually, Simon. Let's just take that. I love my horses. I love my dogs. I love my lifestyle, doing what I do with horses inside out. And I know that I couldn't carry on doing what I do in the same way as if I had children. And I know there's people out there that they can balance that. But for me, I'm too consumed by horses inside out.
So there's huge drive here, isn't there? There's huge drive. What is it when you wake up every morning? You must have times when you don't have that drive, but like, what is it that makes you go, no, come on, you've got to keep going. Got to go again. I
love making things. So this is the artistic side of me, whether that be painting a model, building skeletons, when I say making things, I'd say a lecture demonstration, a book. But then the end result, I sort of feel like I want to make a difference to horses and animals generally, but obviously specifically horses. And I think that there's, especially now, there's so much, these incredible animals, but there's so much that they do for us that I think we sometimes miss understanding them completely.
We absolutely take for granted. Yeah. We really do.
Yeah. So I think anatomy can be difficult or dry, difficult to understand. And if I'm honest, when I first started, I found it difficult to understand.
How do you cope with all these long names?
So I use them every day. And I think as well, if I could go back to my younger self and say about learning Latin, never learned Latin, but there's some things that really help. Like, for example, an O in the middle of a word is the joining of two parts in Latin. So like brachiocephalic is the neck arm muscle, or cervicothoracic junction, if it's got an O in the middle, joint between two bones. Things like that. If I'd known that when I was younger, okay, that's probably not so good. It makes sense to me. It really helped me.
I'm joking. No, it does. But you're talking to the wrong person. I did Latin at school.
Did you?
Yeah, but only for like a year, or maybe I think it was a year or two, and I was rubbish at it.
You see, if I could go back and say, right, do Latin and do art. I did biology and did chemistry. I never really liked chemistry, but yeah. But then when I was 18, if you'd said to me, do Latin,
Well, absolutely no chance.
no, I wouldn't have understood the correlation. But now I think it's a bit more, no, not full Latin, but anatomy related. Latin is quite interesting. But yeah.
So 20 years. We're celebrating 20 years
Yes.
of all of this, of Horses Inside Out. That is absolutely amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's been your biggest highlight? Oh God, that's a question, isn't it?
That is a question.
There's lots of great things that have happened, aren't there?
Do you know what? I can't. There's been so many great things. I remember. So one of the first things that jumps into my head was we went to Salzburg, the horse show at Salzburg, Christmas show, and I was painting horses, doing lecture, doing. We did paint on show, so people could come around and see the horse being painted. Did lecture demonstrations, and we were having a marvellous time. And we were on this stand afterwards. We'd all finished. They were so welcoming. Have a glass of wine. It was lovely. And then they said, "Oh, we've got the puissance, and our sponsored rider, hasn't got a fancy dress costume, and we wondered whether you could borrow your bodysuit, because I paint the bodysuits." And
Worn that.
Yeah, you have. And
Not that flattering.
I don't know. I don't think it make you look skinny.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
All bones. Anyway, and they said, "Oh, could you paint the skeleton as well?" But like, we haven't got very long, and we'd literally run out of most of the colours, so we did it white with edged in dark blue, and it was so much fun. And then they took us up to this box, and we were watching the puissance. I think it was like third or fourth in there, but that was fantastic, a bit of a blue sky moment. And Dad and I came back and were saying, when you have moments like that, and you must feel the same when you've had a fantastic time at badminton, you come back and you think there's that blue sky feeling, and you just want to bottle it and keep it and remember it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That I can't put my finger on why it was so fabulous, but that was a brilliant trip. But I've been so lucky, because I feel Horses Inside Out has taken me to so many different countries, to meet so many different people, so many different horses, and whenever I travel and with Horses Inside Out, it's different to going on holiday. I'm generally met and hosted and taken to the best places, and it's lovely. And you really get to feel part of something rather than just as a visitor. And so that's been fabulous.
You say lucky. I'm a big believer that you make your own luck.
Yeah.
And you've worked excuse my language, you've worked blooming hard for this. And so, I think you should enjoy every moment of that. And
yes.
And it's allowed.
I would say that I am a bit of a workaholic. My partner, Doug, so when you said, am I married? Not married, but I do have a partner. He's very often has to put up with me not being around, or here but not here, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I get quite consumed by...
There is a support, but not too much of a support.
Yes, absolutely. So, but I love it. So if you really love your work, it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah, then you're not working a day in your life.
No.
Lucky you.
Lucky. I often say every day is a Saturday, which can be misconstrued, but the point is that if you work on Saturday, if you love what you do, it's all good.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, I have to ask this. We've talked about what have been the highlights. What, in those 20 years, there must have been some times where you thought, I don't know, I'm doing this. This isn't working for me. I'm going to change tack, or whatever it may be. Have you had moments like that?
Yes.
You must have done.
Yeah. I think I sometimes get a little disheartened, shall we say, with the equine industry, and then I think, do I really want to be part of this? I think when you've seen some of the say, the welfare scandals, horses being mistreated, and you think, I'm working really, really hard to try and improve people's understanding of how horses work, and then you just feel like it's a bit of an uphill
You're
battle.
sweeping water uphill, basically, in what you're trying to, the message you're trying to
And I think, does it really make a difference? Sometimes I think, does it really make a difference? And of course, I like, on all my happy days, I'm on fire and it's great. But yeah, occasionally, it doesn't happen that often. But yeah, I think I was approached after, I think I can say this, I was approached after a conference that we'd done by a company that were keen to get involved with Horses Out for us to promote their new product. And I really didn't agree with this product. I thought, why have they approached me? Because am I putting out that this is the sort of thing I would be supporting? And when things like that happen, it's yeah.
So that was a bit of a
dip moment.
That was a bit of a low light. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Why am I doing this?
Yes.
I'm obviously giving the wrong impression or giving the wrong message.
Yes, yeah.
But again, going back to what we were saying earlier about like that small thing that we always take. That's a very small part, isn't it?
Yes,
and then
absolutely.
The vast majority, you've had really good feedback, haven't you?
Yes.
And collaborations have been really worth
massively
doing.
positive. And I think I'm so lucky when I look at everybody that I've been involved with, all the people that have organised events, people, like I go to Hartpury University every single year, a lady called Kirsty Lesniak there organises the events, and that's just fantastic. And the other staff at Hartpury that I work with regularly, I should mention them as well. But all the organisers, from working with the Society of Master Saddlers through, all these different people. And Wow Saddles, I'm very lucky that I've done quite a bit of work with them, Intelligent Worming. There's been so many people that I think really recognise the good that Horses Inside Out does, and it's great. It's a pleasure to work with them.
Yeah. Now, let's talk a little bit about your horses.
Yes.
Because we've got, Freddie.
Talking about a low light, that was difficult. Goodness me. Yeah.
Losing Freddie.
Yes. Yeah. So I had, as you know, because we met before I had Freddie.
Yeah, I was quite a long time before Freddie.
Yeah. So I got Freddie, I think, in the second year of university, and because I remember we were both competing at Chatsworth, and you came to stay. It was in the holidays, and I fell off. I hit my head, and I was concussed. Then you came back, and I was just like, I'm going to bed, Simon. Can't remember any of it. That was bad. That wasn't falling off Freddie though. That was a different horse. Anyway, so I got Freddie. Yeah, pretty much the second year of university. He was a massive part, obviously, and trained him. And I remember Caroline said to me, you should be really proud of everything that you've done with Freddie, because you're the one that's trained him all the way up to that level. We competed at intermediate level. And then he had a few sort of health issues, really, that meant we were doing less in terms of the competition side. But he carried on for many years. And
but everything happens for a reason, doesn't it? And and that actually made you focus more on this.
Yes, I think
creating what this is. So, so you actually got Freddie to thank for a lot.
Do you know what? When I was at university, and I don't know if you do this sort of thing, but when I was at university and when I was younger and when I was focusing on my eventing, I used to keep really meticulous records of all the events that I did. So, and every lesson I'd write notes up. This makes me sound like a right geek, but literally I have these books where I write the name of the event, the date, stride by stride description of my dressage test, my show jumping, my cross country, and because maybe some drawings of all the fences. It's quite sad, really, isn't it?
No, it's amazing. I wish I did do stuff like that, but...
Well, we see back then the photographs were so much a thing because you didn't have cameras on your phone, so I was drawing it all. So I've got these diaries of my eventing, and I'd log all the training I did and what my aims were and how I was, how I was working my horses.
Yeah.
That took quite a lot of time. And then when Horses Inside Out got bigger, Poppy, he doesn't want to be kissed by you.
No, I don't want being kissed. It's just a microphone, darling.
Poppy, off. Come here, good girl. Good boy, you go. I think when Horses Inside Out started, I poured that energy into Horses Inside Out, and I don't think I could do both.
Yeah.
So the horses now, I love my horses. I love training. I almost like training more than I like the competition. I do like the competition, but yeah, the training and the clinic side, the learning with my horses, I love. Yeah, really, really love that. So I've got 2 horses at the moment, Toby and George. Of course, you know both of these.
I do.
You know them both very well.
Nice pony. They're lovely ponies.
Yes, horses. Yes, absolutely.
But it is interesting, you know, when I help you, you assess everything, and you take, you know, and it's which is great. But sometimes you slightly
Yes, that is
overanalyze.
Yes.
But in doing this, I mean, goodness, that's perfect, isn't it? That's just what's needed.
Yeah. I think that sort of analysis side of me, I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I like things to be just right, and I think that is a good thing with the horses. But everyone has a different style, so whether you're more of a seat of your pants sort of rider or whether you're like,
I'm not quite sure what I am. I think I'm a little bit of both.
I think you're both. Yeah. Yeah.
And now, 20 years. The next 20 years.
Oh, yes.
As you said, you've got these ideas overflowing.
So many ideas. Yes.
Is there anything that we can get excited about, look forward to, or are you keeping it all under wraps?
Oh, no.
What are the plans?
You know, I moved here, it was probably nearly 10 years ago now, and building this place, and we've obviously got the classroom, the facilities, we've got the skeleton stall, the studio. I have visions for this place increasing, and all of my models, my collection, if you like, an interactive anatomy exhibition, which we run on an annual basis. So that's getting bigger. We've got more models, more skeletons. The skeleton that is nearly finished is going to be living up there in the rafters. It's going to be it's a jumping skeleton. We're going to hoist it up and lower it down. So that's quite good fun. But so the idea of an exhibition where people can come, drop by, and learn more about anatomy. So it's more of a personal journey rather than just the lecture demonstrations and the courses. That's one part. Obviously, we've got our online side, and the online academy is growing, not just in terms of educational offerings from me, but with other people as well. Really trying to provide answers for people with their horses. So it's going to be a good place to go to, well, get the answers. But this is good for everyone. This is good for everyone,
It's not, for every type of equestrian person, whether it's elite riders or happy hackers or even just keeping your horse and
absolutely,
playing around and grooming and whatever. Every element of horsey people can learn something from coming here and doing stuff with you.
Yeah, I think this is one thing that's really worked somehow with my teaching style or with what we create. Maybe it's the painting, but you can relate to it on whatever level. So whether you're somebody that's just hacking a horse out at the weekends, walking down the roads, and don't consider performance to be something, but I would actually say, well, the definition of performance to me is the body working well, musculoskeletal system, horse and rider in harmony. So even good performance can be achieved walking down the road, as much as at novice level or 5-star level. It's and whatever discipline as well. So we have different educational offerings for the different disciplines, and whether you're a coach, whether you're a professional, whether you're a therapist, a vet, horse owner, whatever you're doing with horses, there's something that's important for you. But do you remember? It's 2020, so it's a little while ago now. Anatomy in Action, and my big aim with that, and I thought at the time, this is going to change the world. This idea of slow motion videography and photos of every single movement that the horse does. That was my idea with Anatomy in Action, to catalogue this. And I thought, it's going to change the world. It's going to change how people learn about biomechanics, how people assess horses. Trouble is, it's only going to change the world if people know about it. So that's been a slight stumbling block. But when I did that, we painted the skeleton on the side of the horses and had the riders in skeleton bodysuits. My next big project is a similar thing, but with muscles, basically.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
that's cool.
It's been, I mean, Anatomy in Action took 5 years. So filming all the different horses, all the different disciplines, all the different. Every movement of the horse is a big, a big brief, isn't it? There's an awful lot to.
Well, I was going to say there's so many things to document.
Yeah,
this.
exactly. So the next step is the muscles, which is even bigger because a skeleton is one painting design. Muscles, you've got 700 muscles. So there's the different chains, the different muscle groups, illustrating, performing different movements. So that is going to be huge. But give me a few years to finish that one.
So we've got lots to look forward to.
Oh, masses, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for chatting to me, chatting to us about you and your life, and looking forward to what's coming up next.
Thank you so much, Simon. Brilliant.
Well, I've just snuck out, so I thought I'd come and have a bit of a chat with you about what I think about Horses Inside Out and what I think about Gillian. We've been friends for a very long time. She's a very talented lady, and I have really enjoyed watching the progression of Horses Inside Out from this tiny, tiny little thought all the way through to this, well, it's actually global phenomenon, which it genuinely is. And I'm really proud of her for that. And I'm really glad to have been involved with it, because I've done quite a lot of stuff going through with them, with the conferences and demonstrations, and it's been great fun. But it's also, I think it's a really important thing that, we love horses, and I feel that what Gillian is doing is creating more awareness of horse welfare and how we can look after them better. And I think that's such an important thing right now. So I'm very proud of the whole thing, very proud of Gillian, and may it continue for a long, long time. I think everybody out there would quite like to see the horses, so should we go meet them?
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you what, why don't we go for a hack?
Perfect. So just now, we were doing a bit of reversing, we were doing a little bit of raised poles.
Absolutely.
Is that something that you do every time you ride?
I try and make it part of the routine. I think the key to these Pilates exercises is, or the supportive exercises that we do outside of riding, is to fit it into your routine. So there's some that I would do as part of grooming, some that I try and do on the way to and from the field. But yeah, making it a routine that just before I get on, back them up a few strides, walk them over some poles, sometimes do some small circles, just to get their body moving.
Yes. What other things are there in Gillian's life, aside from horses?
I would say I love loads of things. I love getting outside in the countryside, walking in Derbyshire on the very occasional. I think we do that about once a year.
I was going to say, so you're a bit of a hiker.
Yeah, we did that for my birthday.
I hike it every so often.
Yeah. But art, I love drawing, and
I mean, because I've never really thought about that because obviously it's part of your job. It's like by painting the horses, that is a real art form.
Yes.
In itself, isn't it? So, but you are an artist anyway.
Well, I don't. It's funny. I suppose I am, yes.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't class myself as an artist. But then I think what I do is art. So, but any art that I do outside of Horses Inside Out, if I'm honest, is always horses and anatomy. So
yeah.
it's all related.
So horses
isn't it?
take a huge. They're a huge theme in the life of Gillian.
Yes, I mean, I would say that they are actually my downtime from Horses Inside Out. Although, it's connected. They spending time with these guys, going on fun rides.
Because I was going to say, have you got aspirations to do more with them competitively?
I have, yes. It's again, it's time, because the season rolls on and I find I've not done as much as I'd like to do with them. But just sort of low level, getting out and eventing. I think having competed when I was younger, Horse Before Freddie went up to advanced level, I know what that's like, and it's hard not to do it absolutely properly.
Yeah.
So just doing a low level and enjoying the going out at 100s, maybe doing some, maybe some grassroots championships, that would be good fun to do. Show jumping with Toby, and doing a bit more of that with him, and the dressage. So I suppose all three disciplines through more training and maybe a bit of competition as well.
So tell me about the team behind you, because it's not just you in Horses Inside Out. There's a team, isn't there?
No, absolutely. I think I've been really lucky in the early days. Mum and Dad, massive, huge. I couldn't have done half of what we did without them. They were they really helped shape it in the early days. And full time helping with Horses Inside Out. They're sort of stepping back a little bit now, and Dad still runs the bookshop, and Mum is very much, I'd say, a bit like my executive advisor these days, really. But,
I love that.
Yeah,
It's a very technical name.
Yes, very, very technical. But I think behind the scenes as well, my partner Doug, he's a big support. Not really necessarily doing anything in Horses Inside Out, but being there for me.
He's always there, though. He's always there in the background.
He's there in the background.
You know, like when we were doing our demo, there he is.
Yes.
You know,
yeah.
Demos.
Demos.
Yeah. There he is.
Yeah.
In the background, always there as that support, and there as, you know, he's a bit of a crutch, isn't he? You know,
yes.
He's there for you.
Yeah. I think
throughout it, which is great.
Family is a big thing for me. It's the big support. Quite a small family, but yeah, really huge part of my life. And then I think now Horses Inside Out is growing, and I love the fact that we've got quite a little team. Hannah helping with the admin and the customer service side of things, Ali helping with social media, and of course Matthew on the videography side. Is that in itself feels like a bit of a family. It does feel like Horses Inside Out is a family, and you're in the family too as well, Simon. Definitely.
Cheers, mate. No, I'm very glad to be part of the family. It's a great thing to be involved in, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think it is a way of life rather than thinking of Horses Inside Out. Yeah, being work, it is a way of life, and it's a family way of life. So everyone involved, I like to think that we're doing it for the love of horses and for the enjoyment of the projects and the fun aspect, not because it's not about making money at all. It's absolutely for the lifestyle.
Oh, it's definitely labour of love.
It's passion, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I don't know about you, but I found that really interesting. I've known Gillian a long time, and I learned lots about her, and I learned a lot more about Horses Inside Out. I hope you've enjoyed it, and thanks so much for joining us.